I'm Scott Prairie. I'm the co-director of A Moving Sound. A Moving Sound has been in existence for 9 years. It started when I moved to Taiwan from New York. I met my wife, Mia, in New York, and then we moved here. I moved here, and we are Chinese instruments. There's erhu, zhongran, Chinese percussion, Western percussion. I play a mix of Chinese instruments and a little bit of bass, and my wife is the singer. So that's the composition of the group. We travel and perform in world music festivals, performing art centers, and that's what we do internationally. The genre of music, I usually call it arty world music. It's kind of easier. It's easier to actually to present us outside of Taiwan than inside Taiwan. Outside of Taiwan, people can see, well, we're taking Chinese instruments, but we're taking Chinese instruments and Chinese musical ideas and scales, but creating original music. We're using the traditional instruments, but we do use them in a very different way. And taking the erhu and using it in ways that they don't normally use it. And the compositions have Asian elements, but they also have Western elements. And so I don't know what to call it in Taiwan. It's artistic music. They like it enough here so that's how we live. We live from we do commercial projects, sometimes openings for museums, art galleries, or events, but often do festivals. And occasionally, when we are so inspired, we will self-produce an event. Like the event I told you about, we're going to perform in July at the Red Theater, and just presenting our music. Usually, yeah, I start the process. I have some idea, like the Dombra song. I'd heard some music from Central Asia, and so I was inspired by it, and I created a melody. But what always happens is I create like a very basic starting point, and then I turn it over to everybody else. And usually I give it to Mia, and what's interesting, she's her approach is very, very creative. She usually takes it in a direction that I wouldn't have known, and she's very interested in the story, and her vocal parts are very creative. So then we had the vocal, and then I present the idea to the musicians, and the erhu player, the zhongran, which zhongran is a Chinese guitar, round guitar, and percussionist, and they know a lot more about Chinese music than I do, so they sense it, and they make suggestions, and then we work together to create the parts. So really, yeah, the music is a collaboration. There's a lot of improvisation in the composition process, in the first trying out things and jamming. Usually by the time we have the piece set, the piece to perform in a concert, most things are set. Although there's a few pieces that we do, my wife and I will do pure vocal improvisation in concerts, because that's something we love, so we just kind of present some vocal improvisation, or improvisation with, recently we've been doing improvisation with using singing bowls that we got when we traveled to India, and so we use the singing bowls and then improvise vocal with them. I think generally, when you get outside of pop music, there's more spirituality. You could just say it that way. I mean, the Indian music is all about transcendence and going to some higher place. Some part of Chinese music is got that in it, you know, like the guqing is very much designed for meditation, and so some part of it definitely there's a strong part of it. Ganesh, the song Ganesh. Ganesh is the elephant god, and you know, it's the god that the elephant is big and powerful, can break through all obstacles. That's what Ganesh means. In this song, we're borrowing Indian inspiration, but you're giving it another flavor because we're using Chinese instruments, and so it's kind of a mix of Indian and Chinese. Yeah, I picked it because I thought also the reason I like it. It has a lot of the elements of our music. The opening is very spiritual and meditative, and so there's that part. Our music, that's another aspect of our music, is we're very interested in kind of transcendent and spiritual quality. That's something that Mia and I are interested in our life and our practice. So this song has that spiritual quality, but then it then transitions into a really kind of celebration part. So it's kind of got both. It's got a celebration part and a spiritual part. I think it's heroic, you know, to be doing this. It must obviously be coming from your love of world music, and yeah, I think it's just another sign that Taiwan is kind of evolving. You know, that a project like yours is happening. You know, that the culture is maturing, and more people are appreciating and going for it. You know, because this project that you're doing isn't a commercial project. You know, you're doing it out of a love for something artistic and special, and yeah, I think more of this stuff is happening here in Taiwan, and it's just a good sign.
Lord Ganesh, Slamanam Belanganan Divala, Escalanda, Mimo, Escalanda Managan Blabahan. Gnu manandareges, ehi dilangananta mandalas. Samananda, egu Ganesh Lord. Gidamanda, Natyan ke Kristanag, elei beland, blahamanendag.